Alright, what's up guys? Jared Campese back at the track today. This is probably a video I should have made before all of my other videos looking back on things, but that's just not how it went. When I made the last video that I made talking about off-season training and what you should be doing in the off-season in order to improve your times, I got flooded with emails pretty much from everyone asking me the same question, which is weird because I just addressed it in the video. Saying, you know, I run the 100, I run the 200, I run the 400, you know, I'm a sophomore, I'm a freshman, I'm a junior, I'm a senior, whatever. What should I be running on the track this summer to get faster? And it occurred to me that I guess people don't really understand how track and field training works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover at kind of like a bird's eye view in this video how track and field training works. Okay, so when it comes to track and field training, the different time of the season matters. How old you are even matters. When I was in high school, I didn't actually start training in the off season or in the preseason, early season for track because I was playing other sports. I was playing football, I was playing basketball, stuff like that. It wasn't until I got to college and really started to understand how track and field training worked that I realized why you're not doing the same workouts all throughout the year and stuff like that. And so what I want to do is try to explain to you guys how it works so that when you don't think that you just go to the track in the summer and you sprint every day and you just keep sprinting indefinitely and you just keep getting better. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. Your body's going to reach plateaus, it's going to reach limits, and you have to train correctly in order to give yourself a base to do longer work that tapers into shorter work and stuff like that, so that you can continue to get the most out of your training, okay? So let me just give you a brief overview of how it works, okay? Let's say you're a high school or a college athlete and your season starts in the spring like most track season does, right? So what you're gonna do is your off season would basically be the summer or late summer if you compete into the summer. That's going to be the time, like I said in my last video, where you want to get off the track, let your legs recover, go start getting strong in the gym, because that's the time where you can put those calories to use. You're not running them off on the track and stuff like that, so you can actually get stronger. It's one of the few times you can really get stronger as a track and field athlete. From there, once you get into your September, October, November, that's going to really be your early season time, okay? And that's what it was for us at Penn State as well. And so during that kind of time, that's when we're doing base work, okay? We're setting a foundation so that we can handle the work that's going to come later on when we're doing those interval workouts, those fast interval workouts and things like that, okay? So base work is going to be things like going for a campus run, you know, like a long run, running to a long hill and running really long hills, doing like, sometimes we'll be on the track once a week during that time period, those couple of months, and we'll be doing 600s and 500s, all the workouts I personally hated because they're just brutal, but it depends what kind of an athlete you are really. From there you move into, like, if you want to call that early season, then you move into like pre-season training, okay? So this is where you're still not having any meets, but they're getting closer. This is when you're going to be starting to get more work on the track. This is when you're going to be starting to do, you know, your 400s, starting to add in some speed work, some speed endurance work. You're starting to taper away from base work, and now you're starting to put that base work to use, okay? So you're going to be on the track, you're going to be using spikes, you're going to be having tech days, you're going to be working out three times a week probably, doing workouts, and then you're going to get into your actual season, okay? And so when you're in your season, there's different parts of your season training. You know, there's early season, there's late season, there's middle season, and all that kind of stuff matters. Your first meets, you're usually training through those meets, which means you're not tapering off as you go into those meets. You're just continuing your training, you're going into those meets. Hopefully your coaches are telling you, hey, don't expect to be running your fastest times. That's the other thing, guys. I'll get to that in a second. So that's how it works. And then as you get closer to your championship meets, then you're tapering down into speed work. You're tapering down into quality reps. So now you're running, you know, if you're a 100-meter runner, now you're doing a lot of 30s and 40s on the track. Maybe you're doing race modeling stuff for the first half of your race. You're not going to be doing overtraining and base work and all that. That's all done, okay? That's all set. That's all your foundation. That's what's allowing you to run fast and run meet after meet and rep after rep and not get injured, okay? Because you set your body body ready for those workouts, okay? And then that base work, like even like an entire year's worth of training, that will then become a base work for your next year and your following year, you know? Like, so I ran track 4 years in high school and then 4 years in college. And when I was about my second year in college, I started to notice I was getting stronger in workouts even from the previous year's workouts, okay? So you really just want to stay healthy and just keep doing the workouts and keep training correctly, and it just takes time. You can't just say, I want to go to the track and I want to change, you know, drop half a second in my 200 in a month, and it's in the middle of the summer, so I'm just going to go hammer workouts on the track. Because that makes no sense. It would be like, I don't even know how to explain why that makes no sense, but those speed workouts, your body can only hold peaking training for a short amount of time. So if you're trained correctly, you had an off season where you worked in the gym, you had an early season or pre-season where you did base work, and then you started adding speed endurance training, and then you started doing speed training. And for us, we were peaking for Big Tens at college. And after I peaked for Big Tens, which means we were backing off on our volume of training, we were starting to do more speed work, we were doing race modeling and practice, and I came into that race and I peaked. I ran my fastest time I've ever run, and I felt amazing, and you feel super energetic, and that's how you should feel before your big races. That feeling can't last. You can't have that feeling for months and months and months. So for me, my body, I could usually hold my peak for 2 to 3 weeks if I was lucky, and then I slowly started to fall off. All of a sudden at the end of my race, I didn't have my kick anymore, and my legs were starting to feel tired and feel fatigued, even though I wasn't doing workouts that were any different, but that's just how it works. So that's why you eventually take time off and then you start again at your base work, okay? There's exceptions to those rules, which, you know, it doesn't matter, that stuff's advanced, but I can go into that another time. But that's how track and field training works. So you know, there's a method to how you train. There's times of the season that you're doing certain workouts, and basically it works for all sprinters, from the 100 to the 200 to the 400, the hurdlers. You're all doing the same kind of workouts. Obviously the 100, 200 guys are doing a little bit of less, like shorter stuff, but it's really, really similar. You can train everybody almost exactly the same and be very, very good. And so that's why track and field works the way that it does. That's why you see Usain Bolt and Tyson and Gay and all them peaking at the certain meets, you know, and then earlier in the season you watch them run and they look tight and they look all, it's because they're doing base work at that point, you know, they're not peaking, they're not doing speed work, they're not doing quality reps, they're not like completely opened up, they're still getting in shape, they're still working on those reps, you know. Even in the off season when it's not an Olympic year, those guys aren't running as fast, and it's because they're not training exactly the same way, you know. They're even taking a whole year to do base work and stuff like that. And so you guys really have to understand that this is how track and field training works. You can't just go on the summer in the track and do sprints all day, every day. Yeah, you might be super fast by the end of the summer, but by the time your season comes around in the spring, that was all for nothing, because you should have been getting stronger in the gym and doing base work to set yourself up to be fast at the end of your season, not at the end of the summer when it doesn't matter, okay? So that's the kind of stuff that you guys really just need to understand, and I hope that makes sense. If you have questions about what I'm talking about, leave them in the comments below, because I really want to get us all on the same page before I continue to make workouts. And so what my thinking was, during whatever time of the season it is, I'll be making videos based on that time of the season, so that you guys will be doing workouts that I would be doing, or you should be doing, during whatever time of the season it happens to be. And it's pretty much the same for everybody, unless you're like an Olympic level athlete, and at that point hopefully you're not watching my videos, although I could coach you if you do need help. So yeah, that's how it works, guys. That's how track and field training works. Like I said, I can go into a lot more detail on these kind of things, what kind of workouts, and I will be doing that in the future. So like I said, if you have questions, leave them in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching these videos. I've got t-shirts coming soon, so stay put. I know a lot of people have been asking me about it. There's a lot of exciting things happening, and I'm just happy to be doing this with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
It's crazy sometimes thinking you can own a piece of the world. It's just floating through